welcome back to Justin Talks Villa. So here we are again. Ticket prices is in the news and a big talking point on social media for Villa fans. So I'm going to come on and give my opinion on them because I think with a platform you should not hide away from the difficult discussions and subjects because they need highlighting, they need talking about, and they need addressing. That is what I'm going to do today. So get involved in the conversation. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and tonight I'm launching the very first Justin Talks Villa phone-in show, 8 o'clock over on YouTube on the channel. If you agree with what I'm going to say, phone in. If you don't agree, phone in. If you've got a different opinion, phone in. Come and listen to what's going on. Get involved in the comments on the side. It's something that has to be addressed and talked about. So that is what I'm going to do. So let's talk about the ticket prices now. I know everybody's fuming and with good reason. It's expensive, and for many fans who have been supporting the club for years, even decades, it's starting to feel like following Villa is becoming a luxury. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Football should be accessible. It is a working class sport for working class fans, and they shouldn't be priced out of the club they have helped build. So yes, your frustration is absolutely valid. But I do think it is important we understand the context, not to excuse the prices, but to understand the pressures the clubs are under and to work out where we should really be aiming our frustrations. Right now, football clubs are essentially ambitious, and ambitious ones like Villa are being strangled by financial rules from both the Premier League and UEFA. We're talking about profit and sustainability and squad cost rules. These rules cap how much a club can lose and limit how much of its income can be spent on wages, transfers, agents' fees. If you break these rules, you can face points deductions, transfer restrictions, or even worse. That means owners can't just inject money to fund ambition anymore. They have to balance the books. And in that situation, ticket sales, sadly, become one of the few areas where clubs feel they can raise income quickly and reliably. Now you might ask, why not just grow the club commercially instead of raising ticket prices? And the answer is they're trying. Global branding, sponsorship, stadium expansion, all in the works. But these things take years to pay off. Ticket sales help now. And under these rules, everything is judged season by season. And here's something fans don't often hear enough and take into account. Wages, contracts, transfer fees, agent fees are the single biggest cost at any top club, and they're only going to go up. Villa fans, like all fans, want to see the best players stay and even better ones arrive. And that's fair. We've waited long enough to compete at this level. But it's easy to forget how much it costs to retain someone like Boubacar Kamara or bring in the new players we also desperately feel we need to once again compete. These deals cost tens of millions and often hundreds of thousands in weekly wages. Agents' fees alone can run into the millions for one player. Now, here's the part that matters. Since Nassif Suarez and Wes Edens took over in 2018, they have not taken a single penny out of Aston Villa. No dividends, no bonuses, and no cashing in of shares. In fact, they've invested somewhere between 500 and 600 million pounds into Villa. They've covered operational losses, transfers, infrastructure. They've built the foundations of a club that is now back in Europe and competing at the very top table with the elite. So it's not about greed. These owners have backed the club and they will continue to do so. But they are now boxed in by rules that punish spending unless it's backed by revenue. And unfortunately, match-going fans are the most direct revenue stream available. And this is the crucial bit. If those financial rules were relaxed, if clubs could fund more growth freely, we would finally see whether owners really needed to rise prices or whether they just choose to raise the prices. Until then, the system will give them this cover. And that's where the anger should go, in my opinion. To the Premier League, UEFA, and the people making the rules that back clubs into this corner. So, no, fans should not accept it. You are allowed to be angry, but we've got to start aiming the anger at the real problem: a broken financial system in football that punishes ambition and makes fans carry that burden. We have to give credit where it's due. Sawiris and Edens didn't have to buy Villa, especially not where we were, on the brink back in 2018, hours away from administration. Let's not forget that. They came in, steadied the ship, got us back to the Premier League, and instead of settling there, they have shown real ambition. They have backed the club with hundreds of millions of pounds. They have built a structure aimed at making us genuinely competitive. And now here we are, back in Europe, pushing for the Champions League, with 3 consecutive European qualifications in a row. That kind of ambition doesn't happen by accident. And while fans have every right to be frustrated about rising costs, I do think the new fan consultation group has a real opportunity here to be the bridge between the club and the supporter. They can help argue for a fairer, more balanced approach. Maybe there is a way to show ambition and protect the loyal match-going fans who have stuck by the club through the worst of times. That's the kind of compromise we should all now be pushing for. This is a vicious circle, and the club knows it. Without growing revenue, it's hard to invest in the team. But if the team doesn't keep improving, fans will become more frustrated, especially if prices keep rising. And when fans feel priced out or disillusioned, you will start to see empty seats at Villa Park. If that happens, matchday revenue will drop, the atmosphere will suffer, and suddenly the club becomes a less attractive proposition. Not just for fans, but for sponsors, commercial partners too. It creates a downward spiral. Less revenue means less investment in the squad, which means less success on the pitch, which leads to more frustration and even fewer returns off the pitch. It's exactly what the club are trying to avoid. But the challenge is how to grow sensibly without alienating the very people who make this club what it is: us, the fans. So look, we've got to speak up. As fans, we have the right to voice our frustration when prices go up, especially when so many of us have backed the club through everything. But at the same time, we've got to try and understand why the club feels the need to do this. Because right now, the financial rules in place are forcing owners to maximise income in every single area. We can only hope as fans that those rules can start to relax in the future. And if they do, that'll be the moment we will truly find out whether this pricing model is a last resort or purely a business strategy. But this is the most important part of all, and I can't stress this enough. We cannot let any of this take away from what's happening on the pitch. This summer has been tight. Investment has to be careful. And this season, more than ever, the team is going to need us, from the first whistle to the last. So let's make our voices heard, but let's also bring our passion where it matters most. Let's turn Villa Park once again into the fortress it was last season. Back the team, back the badge. Let's do our part, because if we are going to dream big, then we all need to be at our best, on and off the pitch. It is a difficult scenario to get through. We hope we can try and sort this issue out, but sensibly, with dialogue. I hope you agree with a lot of the things I've said today. As I said, In the past, when I've spoken up about ticket prices, I have received a lot of hate. I think I've been fair, balanced, and I've given a well-rounded opinion on every side. Fans should not be happy. Fans should speak out. But we have to see what is driving these prices. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, drop this video a like, and get involved in the comments section. If you're around tonight, 8 o'clock on the channel, we've got a special phone-in show. And if you feel like you want to phone up and have a chat about this subject or anything that's going on at Villa, please feel free to come along. You don't have to phone up. You can get involved in the comments section. Thanks ever so much for watching. Speak to you all soon. Up the Villa.